Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today for another topic. Today I want to discuss with you the problem of being too nice. Okay? And what we have here is being too nice can really harm you. And that's what I want to talk about today. How being too nice can harm you, and then go into how we can prevent that from happening. So, because we have the use of logic, we think that we should share, help, and save the Filipina. But what are we saving her from? Our generosity goes so far that we prioritize her needs over our personal interests. But no one warns us of being too kind and compassionate, especially in a relationship where we don't receive, but we are the ones that's always doing the giving. Too generous people empty themselves financially, energetically, through indiscriminate giving. We don't sit down and take the time to think about why and what we are giving. We must ask ourselves, does excess generosity endanger our own lives? You will be amazed at the negative effects kindness will bring on you. And this is why you see so many guys lose everything they have by being too generous. So I hope to reveal to you how being too kind to a Filipino will ruin you, and how you can keep it from happening to you. So the first thing is, you have unrealistic expectations of people. We must accept things as they are and don't base our happiness on actions of others. Giving without expecting too much in return, you avoid disappointment and emotional detachment. This will lead you to a peace of mind. So you'll have peace by being able to detach from them, by not trying to give and please them all the time. When you expect her to treat you the way that you treat her, or behave as an adult the way you behave as an adult, you're going to be greatly disappointed. You will have her so dependent on you that she will do nothing. And she will do nothing in her life or in yours. And you'll be taking on the responsibility of someone else. So why should we do that? Why should we take on somebody else's responsibility, doing for them what they basically should be doing for themselves? So when you do this, it's because you're expecting reciprocity. You're expecting that if you give, she'll give. But if the truth be told, you'll only get a bad mood, fatigue, and frustration. And this is going to lead you to be disappointed. But if you don't attach, you'll be doing what she's doing, and that's taking care of yourself. And that's all she's doing. Filipinos will only expect you to give them something, whether it's gifts or supporting their family. Remember that being true to yourself and true to your values comes from acting in accordance with reason and logic. So if you're being logic, you'll be able to look at the situation and say, why am I giving to her? She's not giving to me. Why she want me to do all this stuff? Where's her family that should be doing it? I should not be the one carrying on the burden of supplying her family what they need. And this will allow you to set up a boundary. And this will allow you to maintain control over your actions and avoid financial ruin. Don't expect them to give what they don't have. And this is where a lot of guys make a big mistake. So you must have some boundaries. So it should not be hard to say no. So now the next thing here, if you don't have boundaries, your priorities will be trampled on. It's important to live in reason and virtue. Setting boundaries will help you prioritize your own responsibilities over the responsibilities of others, and that is essential to avoid sacrificing your own well-being and maintaining authenticity to yourself. If you're giving all the time to other people and taking care of their responsibilities, you'll run away from something that's going to cause you pain. So basically, if you spend all your time trying to take care of them, you're basically running from something from your childhood. Because a lot of guys do this because they're codependent or they're thirsty, and that's what they're running from. They don't want to feel the pain of being alone. So they put other people's needs before their own. And they end up with nothing in the end. So the next thing here is, when you do that, you'll be seen as weak and treated that way. So you must have some inner strength and self-control. By setting boundaries and practicing self-discipline, we can show others that we are committed to our own responsibilities and values. This will gain their respect instead of being seen as weak. You ever known anybody who's always giving, they don't know how to say no? What do other people tend to say about them? You see, if you help too much over time, you'll be seen as a provider or as a tool to be used as needed. When you don't set the boundaries, people will see you as weak and unload their responsibilities on you. They will do this because they have no fear of you saying no, because they know you've always said yes. They're not going to stop and say, well, I'm afraid to ask him because he might say no. No, that fear never crosses their mind, because they know. Here's where you go. You're going to have those people that's going to have a lot of buts, okay? You're going to say no, and they're going to say, but this, but that, but this. Now, those are the ones that come to you when they need something. If you value who you are, okay? If you value who you help through self-control, you won't risk losing everything. So that means you have to take time and think about, who am I helping and why am I helping this person? You see, we can recognize genuine people over those that are just trying to take advantage of us, because those are the ones that turn to you only when they need something, and then when you stop giving, they have no use for you. So you must learn to prevent people from using you. It's like a tool you have at home. If you have a screwdriver at home, you get that screwdriver, you use it. Once you've used it, you finish with it. You put it in the drawer until you need the screwdriver again. So the next thing here is, when you do that, you will attract only people who need and never who are willing to give. By being a giver, it's like when you're over there and someone is begging or they're trying to sell something. If you give to one beggar, what does all the other beggars do? They run to you. When you buy from one street vendor, what does the other vendors do? They come to you. So that's what I'm saying here. Okay? Once you do for one, the others are going to come, because everybody is trying to use you. So the reason those guys in other videos got used, because they don't set up the boundaries. Know that you're weak. As men, we must learn to cultivate equal and beneficial relationships. When you give and don't have boundaries, You make needy people drawn to us. Also, opportunists will seek to take advantage of us when they see that you have no boundaries. They will extract everything they can and then disappear so they won't have to at least say thank you. And how many times have you given to a Filipino and then she disappear until she needs something again? She'll give you the sob story, you send the money, and then once she get it, she's gone. And then when she runs out, she comes back with another excuse. I need this, that, or the other. Now, by doing this, you could end up falling into an addiction. And what I'm saying is that by having self-control, you'll prevent yourself falling into that addictive pattern because you'll be addicted to giving. When you have a scarcity mindset, that need grows. You think that if she leaves, you won't get anybody else. So therefore, by you thinking that, you're thinking, well, if I don't give it to her, she's going to leave. So you get addicted to giving and always giving and always giving, and she just sit back and take because of your scarcity mindset, and that leads you to doing that. So this is why most men are simps and they chase. They want to feel or prove that they are enough, they are valued, and they are seen. This mindset sets them up for This mindset sets them up to be manipulated and used. So it's your own beliefs that's creating this. And because you're believing something, it allows them to step in and use you. So this is something we must look at ourselves and think, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And when you start questioning yourself, which will lead me to my next point, you will raise suspicion. Because people start to think, what's happening to him? Why is he changing? And on the reverse, they'll also think that when you give too much, people will wonder what's going on. So it's a fine line that you have to think about if you give too much or give too little. So one way you'll be used, okay? Now the thing is, how do you prevent this from happening? What must you do as an individual? So the first thing is listen to your gut feeling and emotions. How do you feel when you're giving money to someone? And there's two sides to that. If a girl asks you for something and you're feeling a resentful feeling or uncertain feeling like this is what you shouldn't do, then maybe you shouldn't do it. And on the flip side of that coin, if you're doing it to try to win favor with her, you need to stop, because there is no favor. You're setting yourself up to be used. Second thing you can do is lose the fear of saying no. Don't be afraid to say no. Because one thing about saying no, it lets you know who the true people are, men or women. No one should get angry with you because you don't give them your money that you work for. The third thing is there should be a time and space for you. If someone really likes you, they're going to make time to contact you, to see you, to talk with you, to chat with you. They're going to have time. It's none of this, I'm busy, I didn't have connection stuff, okay? And the fourth thing is you must identify the energy vampires. You have people, and I remember reading this in a book by Tony Robbins. He called them drain people. People that drain you of your time and your energy. They drain you of everything. You must be able to identify those people. And how do you do that? Through their pattern. Are they always asking you for something? If you give, do they disappear? If you don't give, do they get angry? So we must first learn to identify which relationships benefit us or which relationships drain us. And I don't know about you, I want the ones that benefit me. And I don't mean benefit as though somebody got to give me something, okay? I don't expect for anyone to take care of me, but benefit me as far as appreciating me as a person, not just as an ATM. So the takeaway I want you to get from this, okay? Don't be afraid to say no. The best measure for anything is the middle ground, and generosity is no exception. So everything has to be done in moderation. You can't give too much. You can't give too little. Don't be afraid to say no. Okay? So that's it for today. Just a little quick something. So please like, share, subscribe. Is there anyone that you feel that can benefit from this? Because I know a lot of guys go over there and they have some issues with these girls. So feel free to share, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the next video.